Hello everyone, and we finally did it. We finally hit 1,000 subs. So this is our big 1,000 sub video spectacular. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a look behind the scenes on what goes on here, the equipment I use, and some of the other things that really you don't get the chance to see. So this is a chance for everyone to, see what makes the magic happen. It's a lot of equipment here, and I probably spent about over $1,000 on it all, really. Now, I'm going to give you a shot of my room a little bit. I can't give you the whole room because it's a freaking mess. I mean, my desk is a freaking mess, and the rest, it's just, bah. But still, anyway, here's a look around. I'll explain my equipment and how much I probably paid for it at the time. I can't remember because I got so much stuff. But, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this thing. Alright, for anyone who hasn't seen it before, I have a pretty basic setup. I also have a very cluttered desk, so please don't mind the mess that's everywhere. And I do mean everywhere. Now, of course, I have my keyboard over here. I've did a review on this. It's dusty as all hell right now, so it's got to get cleaned off just a little bit. It's my Razor and Nancy keyboard down there. I paid about $100 for it when I originally got it. There's also my Razer Naga mouse. That's probably about 2 years old. That was about $80 off of the Razer store, of course. So that's probably $200 worth right there. American currency, all of course. Very nice gear. It lasted me quite some time, as you can see, according to the dust. Now, moving on to my recording equipment. I got this nice Behringer mixer right here. It's a Xenix 1202FX. This was, I believe, $100 off of Amazon. Now, of course, I got a gift card, so I didn't pay the full price for it. And when you do Let's Plays, that's what happens. You're going to have to find a way to save money. Because like I said, there's a lot of this. It's going to be very expensive equipment. So I use this. I also use another piece of equipment that I'll show you in a minute. And this is going to lead up to my new microphone, which is up here. This is my MXL 990. Now, I've got a bag on it, so I keep dust off of it when it's not in use. These microphones are very sensitive, and getting dust on them is never a good thing. But it seems to be a really good microphone right about now. It's better than my old USB mic. It seems pretty good. I can see why there's room for more improvement, but I'm quite content with it. And I paid, it was on sale for $70. XLR mic, that's what it was. Of course, I got a little pop filter up there to prevent any kind of mess, any spray that comes out of the mouth or any extra plosives that come out. It's always a good idea to have that set up. So I'm quite happy with this little setup right here. Of course, there's my nice monitor. Some of you asked, it's about 24 inches. Very nice indeed. I'm quite happy with it, though I wish I could get a second one like this. Having two 24-inch monitors would be nice. Of course, here's my other setup I use. Now, this one I use for recording. It's my little USB interface that takes XLR mics. This guarantees that I won't wind up blowing anyone's eardrums out. The actual other interface over here, that's not. It goes right into the input for the sound card. That's a little bit more, gotta be careful with. This, on the other hand, this gives me everything I need to be fine. I won't blow anyone's eardrums out. This was actually $150 off of Amazon. So right there between those two, that's about what? Close to $300, plus you throw in the microphone. That's a little bit more. And all of a sudden now, it's getting crazy. Really crazy. So of course, next to it we have the second monitor. Now this is a 19-inch monitor, nothing special. This is where I keep all my other side stuff. So if I'm doing a game on my main monitor, I'll move over my web browser to this screen so I can see things on Twitch TV like the chat, any notifications, or if I like YouTube, anything like that. That's always my little side screen for business. I've got some files over there. Those are all templates for my Let's Plays, so I keep everything pretty much set. When I upload, I can just go ahead, open one of them files, and just copy and paste and change what I need around for the episode. I can customize it, basically. It makes things a lot easier. That's what you got to do when you upload. It makes things go by so much quicker. Now, my PC down below is going to be very difficult to see. But, oh man, remember the specs I had overall for this thing? I couldn't tell you. But it's a 3770K processor, Intel in here, and it does a really good job for recording. Now, of course, it's trying to compensate for an old video card, so for what it does a hell of a job. And the video card was an ATI 5850, so I think that thing might be on its last leg relatively soon, but it's still holding in there. at some point this year we're going to have to replace it though, because newer games just own that thing. But this PC is water cooled, by the way. I would be very careful recommending water cooling because it can damage your PC if you don't know what you're doing. So if you want to do water cooling, do your homework first. I never had a major problem with water cooling, but I've heard people that had horror stories. So keep that in mind. You don't want to ruin your PC. Fortunately for me, I've never had anything major, so it worked out wonderful. And I think at one point I may have did a video on the water cooling. Can't really remember offhand. Now at one point I did discuss about my USB mic. I think I actually put it away off to the side over here. It used to be a USB. It was $100 on sale for Amazon. It was called a Samson C01U. Now, of course, when you get these XLR mics, you have to have a whole bunch more equipment to make it sound professional. Well, the USB mic sounds professional, but the problem is, it's not as crisp as one of these newer mics. So you're not going to get the more professional sound. It's a lower quality. Not horrible, but it's great for starting off. That's what I'm trying to say. That's that mouth diarrhea. The USB mic is great for people starting off. So if anyone is interested in that, it's called a Samson Z01U, and it does a good job for what it's worth. You can actually get the kit with a case and all for like $130, I think, or the microphone for like $99. This is all US currency, of course. And of course I spent a ton of money on software and such. Things like Adobe Premiere, Adobe Photoshop. Now I didn't get the full versions. I've got the scaled down versions. Roughly paid about $100 a piece for those. So that's about $2 right there for software. And I'm not even counting the rest of my microphones I got down here. I've actually gotten 3 microphones in this little bag over here. That's my carrying case for my MXL mic if I ever need to. Oh, by the way, since this isn't a professional studio room, I have a moving blanket. I got 2 moving blankets down here shown by my foot that I keep hung by the door. The purpose of this is to prevent reverb or any other outside noises from coming in. So with the reverb being kept low and along with the outside noises, it makes things a lot easier. Of course, it's not the most professional way of doing it, but hey, when I've got a very limited budget and very limited setup, I got to do the best I can do it with. Anyway, so I'll go ahead and open up just a little bit more. I got about $300 worth of microphones here. Now this is in case I ever have company, which I'm hoping one day I will. I can go ahead and do a group setup here. This is just one simple little dynamic mic. It's about $40 I paid for a musician's friend. Very simple, very basic. Once again, this could be very easily a beginner setup here. Nothing too fancy. XLR setup, so you have to have more cables for the actual whichever interface you decide to use. There's another mic in here that was roughly $120 when I got it. And that was... It's fancy, but it just does the job. What else can I say about it if I ever get this zipper open? And this is the setup of a Let's Player. If you want to get into it seriously, this is the kind of stuff you really gotta look into. It's not cheap, and you can't be cheap when you do this. Yes, here it is. Here's my Heil PR20. Now this thing has no room for handling, which means you can't handle it when you speak. It's very touchy. You have to have it on a mic stand or a setup, and you just speak into it. But it does a really good job for dynamic microphones the way it goes. By the way, this MXL is called a condenser microphone. Let's Play's condenser microphones are your best bet. You just need to have money to afford the setup. But yeah, that's my Heil right there, and it's my best dynamic microphone I've gotten, so it's done the job for me when I've needed it. It's been there. So those are my microphones, so I get a group situation set up if I need it, or I could just go ahead and wire up the MXL for whatever. One quick hit, if anyone's been noticing it, I have the actual Rode. This is called a Rode Studio Arm. Now it's got a little vise that holds it to my little extension of the desk right there. This keeps the microphone whichever position I want. I can move it up, down, swing it all around, and just, you know, do whatever I need to with it. So that was about $100 as well. As you can see, the tally is adding up relatively quick. really, really quick. So that's it for most of my exterior setup. Of course, I got some games back there as well. Nothing too spectacular, a lot of old stuff. I got the original Sims back there. I think I've got Ultima Online on disc and such. So I barely even use that thing anymore. That's it for the main exterior. This has been a pretty sizable update since the last time I did a video on this. Believe me. A lot more equipment involved, but you know what? It's still great to do. I love doing these Let's Plays, and I want to keep doing them more. Okay, so the one thing you guys do ask me about is the ending I have a saying. Of course, have a good day. If not, then simply fake it. What does that mean? What is the purpose behind that? Well, it's kind of easy, but it's not really understood at first. Let me just go ahead and explain. I have a saying with the worker that comes by my place. He basically asked me about how my day was going. I told him it was a crappy day. People were getting me upset, and I was getting pissed, and there was nothing, I just wanted to get out of there. He said, well, no, don't do that. You gotta fake it, get through it. And I was kind of perplexed by this. Couldn't figure it out why. I said, why would I do that? And he basically said, you'd want to do that because then you're going to get them upset. Don't let them get your day down because of the stuff they do. Just bear on through it. No matter what you do, you got to bear on through it and be done with it. So I looked at it and it kind of made sense. Why let somebody else get my day down because they want to be a jerk when I could just smile and piss them off and be on with it? So that's kind of how I looked at it right now. And that's what my whole saying's about. You have a good day, and if not, then just simply fake it. Especially good for YouTube when you get trolls and such. Why let people bring you down with their negative words and comments when you can just bear on and not even pay attention to it? There's no point in dragging on the past if you can go on and have a better future. So that's pretty much the whole reasoning behind the saying. And I mean, it's something we just had going on. Now, of course, some days you really can't do much about it because shit just rolls downhill, but you guys get the general idea. Almost forgot to mention my Hauppauge down here that actually records console gaming. It's a Hauppauge HD PVR. It records from to HDMI, so it works with the latest consoles, but not so much the older ones. I believe this was about $149 I got off of Amazon. It was actually higher at the time, so not too bad when I got a little bit marked down. And I actually have a Dazzle around here, which I could use for older consoles. That was about $49 at Best Buy. And one more important aspect I almost forgot was the webcam up here. This was once again off of Amazon, and I believe this was another $100 purchase. This is my Logitech webcam. I believe it's a 920. It does record in high def. It's a 1080p webcam. So you may not get the best visuals on the actual live stream, but when you actually record video from it, it's not that bad really at all. It does do a pretty good job of all that. So that's it for the most part. I believe I got all the setup around here. So at some point we'll do more console gaming again. I still have a Wolfenstein series I have to finish. But all in all, as you can see, it's a lot of equipment and a whole lot of freaking cost. A lot of the stuff I had to actually save up for and was able to purchase. All in all, though, it's been a fun endeavor, and here's hoping we keep going on for more. I know I'm ready to do so. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for this little behind the scenes video. Please be sure to like it. If so, it helps out the channel so much. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and if not, then simply fake it. Leave any questions or comments down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you again next time.